Righto fellas, well it's a beautiful cold day here in the Northern Rivers of New South Wales, and I am working on the Baja again. Last video I took for a strap, that was pretty exciting, pretty happy with how it's driving. So today what I'm trying to do is just, well, I actually scored a set of wheels for it so I can put the tyres that I want, the tyre combo, so I'm going to go and get it. But I'm just trying to get the body kit sorted, and I'll explain to you why. Let me just flip you around and we'll have a bit of a look. So even though I do like this body kit, I like the bug eye, I like how it looks, I don't think I'm going to be able to get, I mean the other tyres, these ones almost tuck in, the other ones I get are going to be 3 inches wider than this, and the rims are going to be offset, they're going to be out here somewhere, and it's just not legal here in Australia. They do not like us doing stuff like that. You can see the front's already, well that's with the other guards on it, they already poke. With the other side, well, something seems to be offset on this car. Look at that. That one's poking. I didn't even notice that. That one's poking a fair bit more than the other side. Maybe not. Maybe it's just the way I'm looking at it. Anyway, the front, look at that. I cannot have that in Australia. So I'm working on this other kit. I kind of like the one with the wide eyes anyway. I've put a bit of filler in this. You know, I had a lot of damage and cracks. And I've given the rear guards a bit of a coat. I kind of sanded them. They'd been painted in, looked like Raptor liner or something like that before, one of them kind of bed liners. So I've done that, front one done. I filled the indicator hole in the top of that. Like you can see it in this one here. I'm gonna have to do that one as well. I kind of glassed it up, and unfortunately these guards, the front ones are really thin, so everything's kind of popped, so I kind of had to do a bit of a fill over that. But I'm gonna, you know, so you can see, I don't know if you can see that, you can see the kind of the rough texture of what's on there. So what I'm doing is, yeah, I'm just going to clean these up, give them a quick hit. I'll probably just buy the same color as that, paint them up. You know, it's a nice Baja color, a kind of sandy color. Get those on it, and one of the main reasons I'm going to put these on it is because even though I'm not covering the tyre yet, and it's probably going to be even worse with the new tyres, I can do, this has like a nice flat mounting surface to mount a rubber extension on there, just so I can actually, you know, when I take it to the engineer, the wheels are covered, it's just not something else he's looking at. So that's where we're at. I got to duck up and buy some paint. So I can give this thing a coat. Luckily the bonnet's pretty nice. I've also got the rear cage I've got to prep and paint. There's a lot to do, guys. I'm going to keep at it. Right, well, we're back into it. This morning I'm just trying to get a bit of a primer coat put on these the guards and the body kit basically for the Baja, so I can bolt it on, so I can kind of see how unwide they are and how much I need to widen them. So I've sanded them all back, given them a couple of coats of putty, like spray putty. Now I've got a coat of primer putty on there, so that's going to kind of be it for now. Look, I don't have any of that colour. I got a heap of black. I got a heap of 2-pack black. Look, eventually I'd like that car to be black, but sometimes things in your head look better than they do on the, you know, when you actually do them. So I'm just going to hold off. I'll probably just leave them in primer for now, bolt them on just to see where we're at. Nose cone's done, front guards are done, rear guards are done. Just going to give the bonnet that actually had a couple of cracks in here, so I've fiberglassed the inside of them, sanded it back, and now I'm just a little bit of putty in there just to kind of make it look good. I'm going to get that in primer, and then I'm looking for a custom hood emblem. I'm not too fond of that, but I'll get something for there, some kind of custom thing. Anyway, let's keep cracking. All right, so there's the basically the whole kit, except that guard, which I've only just sprayed this morning in putty. So I'll give it a few hours and then sand it back and give it a primer coat. But other than that, we're all in primer, which I'm pretty happy with that. I don't think I'm going to take it any further than that for now until I know that it all bolts on. You know, there might be holes I've got to drill. I've got to fit the refit the tail lights, indicators. I've got the stuff I've got to do. So I'm just going to bolt it back on. I might give the underside just a quick hit of black, so that way when I take it in for the inspection, it just all looks neat and finished. But I'll probably just leave it in primer for now until I figure out exactly what I'm going to do before I go and spend more money on paint. I got to clean this mess up. When you're sanding and bogging and sanding bog, it just gets everywhere, and I'm just, you know, been making wheels yesterday and it's a mess again. So I'll clean this up and I'm going to make that other wheel. Well, fellas, I've decided to just give the guards and the bonnet and that just a bit of a paint. I did bugger all prep work on it, so I've just got it barely good enough. And I guess the idea mainly is I just want the whole car to be the same colour, so I can, you know, so it looks right. About the prep work, look, it's good enough. The thing is a baja, like I'm probably going to, you know, throw it against a rock or something. Like, I'm not planning on babying this thing, so I just want it to look good enough. So what I'm doing, I ended up just getting a litre of the paint. That should be heaps. I've got a mixing cup, got the reducer, got the hardener. So we're just going to mix up a bit of a brew and throw it on. I've got the spray booth all set up, so had to push this car out to give me a bit of room. I was gonna spray it out, but I just thought, oh, I've got the room here. There it all is set up. A few things just covered up. Obviously I'm not painting a whole car, so I don't need as much space. Nose cone, front guards, rear guards, bonnet. I mean, you know, like when I said barely prepped it, I mean, the rear guards are good, bonnet's good, nose cone, I spent a bit of time on it. The front guards were actually very thin, and they're just not very good anyway, so I just thought, oh, I'm not going to waste a heap of time on them. I'm just going to get it, you know, just get a coat on it so it looks good. Previous owner or someone previous had sprayed it in some kind of a Raptor liner, some kind of bed liner. Luckily the bonnet wasn't. The rear guards and the front guards were, so I've kind of got them. You know, I did a bit more work on the rears because they are a nice thick guard, whereas these things, God, it feels like one layer of glass. So I'm not gonna get too carried away on it. Anyway, back to it. Let's mix some paint. By the way, it is an absolutely terrible day to paint as well. It's gloomy outside, it's cold. Like, I sprayed these wheels earlier. I mean, I did that this morning and they're still not dry. The rears, the fronts had been painted with some kind of enamel and it just crazed like anything. So that was a real fun time. I had to luckily I'd only done one, but had to get all the peeling paint off it. And I primed them with this stuff, which I've used before. It's actually like a primer sealer, and you can get a specific stuff for the job, but that seemed to work fine, so I've got to let that dry. The rears, you know, they're okay. You know, it's not a wow, excellent job, but they're going to be good enough. I've got the tyres sitting there ready to go, so I've got one more day tomorrow, and I'm really hoping that I can just bolt this thing together, bang the tyres on it, bolt it together, and I've got a 90% finished car. There's a few little touch-ups to do. I've still got to mount the seat, which I might even get that done while the paint's drying. But hang in there, fellas, bear with me, we're going to get this done. One thing I've done over the years is sprayed without a suit, and it's not good for you, fellas. It's one of the things you probably shouldn't do. So these days I take it a bit more seriously. Like you'll see, I do a lot of stuff that's kind of rough and dodgy, but spraying 2-pack paint, your skin is your biggest organ, and what absorbs through your skin, it's going to kill you. So just be aware, fellas, don't spray 2-pack lightly. Don't take it don't take it lightly. So I've actually made myself a little spray booth here, which you may or may not have seen in previous videos. I scored some old, it's actually a tarp off a truck. Let me flip you around. It's actually a tarp off a truck, and I've got it so it comes and covers up this whole area. That's my fresh air in. You don't need much for a fresh air in. It's just a little bit of breeze. You don't want it blowing because you don't want to blow dust around in here. And then I've got these two fans that vent. So boom, flick that sucker on. Boom, flick that sucker on. It's noisy as hell. And I've, you know, the lighting, look, it's okay. It's the best I've ever sprayed in. So for me, look, that's just perfect. I could probably do with some more side lights, but I'm gonna go put the paint in the gun and spray it down. So I just laid down the first coat. I'm learning. I went a little bit lighter on this coat than I normally do, so it looks a little orange peely, but I'd rather that than runs. So let's just, we'll hit it heavy on the second one and see how that goes. Righto, well that's the coat's on. Unfortunately, I got a couple of runs. Just heavy-handed. I'm just always a bit too heavy-handed when it comes to it. This one here got one as well. See that? I just got in a little bit too hard. But look, it's good enough. It's good enough for what I'm doing. It's all one colour. It's going to look great. I've got some paint left in the pot, but I think I'm just going to leave it at that. Like, there's no point spraying more on. That's just where I'm at. So let's clean up the guns and leave this stuff to dry. Well, good morning fellas. So another bright and beautiful cold day here in northern New South Wales. You wouldn't think we get winter here in subtropical Australia, but we do. Anyway, so where are we at? Body kit painted. Look, I'll flip you around and I'll give you a look. Boom, there's the body kit. Look, it turned out all right. I mean, there's my booth is not impermeable to dust, and there is some dust specks in it. There's a couple of runs in the bonnet or hood, as you guys call it. So that's there, but look, I'm not even going to worry about it. It's just what it is. Boom, boom. It's going to be all the same colour. I've pushed the car out. We're basically about to strip it, bolt all the bits on. I've got to go and fit the wheels, so the wheels are there getting painted. Fit the new wheels, tyres, body kit, and I think that's probably going to be, I've got to put the passenger seat in. Let's hope we can get that done today. Starting to look the part. One side on, bang that side on. Got to fit the gasket in the middle, but you know, I'm pretty happy with the fit. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. So you can see how much wider that is than that. It's just going to give me the opportunity to cover the wheels. I'll be honest, I do like those better. They just look smaller and neater, but you just got to do what you got to do to get this thing to work. So I'll keep cracking on with it. So fellas, the things you discover when you're building Volkswagens. So I knew these wheels were custom made. Someone had actually, looks like they've, you know, plasma cut or something out of a centre and welded them into a band. Now that's fine. The reason being is because the rear end of this thing is actually from a late combi, and they're a weird stud pattern. It's 5x112, and getting a set of wheels 5x112, it's not that easy. Believe me, I've searched. I've found I could have got some made, but they were going to cost me a fortune. It was going to be $400 to get a custom wheel made. So of course, you've seen the other video. If you haven't, go check it out. It was the making of wheels. Now, I hadn't pulled these wheels off before, but what I've found is someone, some tricky dicky, has put a heap of washers in behind them. It's probably not a great practice, fellas. Now look, these are the spacers, these are the adapters. They're made by, plug for John Sherman at Volks Conversions. He knows exactly what you need. Very well made, like literally down to the mill. He knows that the rear ones are slightly different than the front ones. There's 1 mil difference, believe it or not. Anyway, so I'm going to bolt them on. That gets me back to 5x205, standard old thing. I'm going to go get these tyres. They're going to go on the front. Nice set of Mickey Thompson Baja claws, and I've got another set of tyres for the back. Hoping to get them on. Look how nice them look. Just all, they fit perfectly. Like, John, you're a clever fella. Righto, let's go get these wheels. I'm over at my mate Lucky's place. He's got a tyre machine. He also sells tyres, and he has supplied me with these bad boys. Now they're 33s, they're 31s. That was what was on the back, going on the front. Geez, are these even gonna fit? Oof, they're huge. Anyway. Oh, this is going to be mad. Righto, fellas. Well, I've got the wheels mounted back on, and I've got to say, I'm pretty happy with it. I mean, I've been waiting for this moment basically since I bought the car and since I started building it, and it's finally here. So, I'm going to flip you around. Let me know what you think. Boom. That's pretty high there. I mean, ground clearance, anyone? Oh, this thing's going to be cool as. So the fronts, I think on full lock, I'm going to get a bit of scrubbing on the inside. I'll probably have to do some massaging. That's in that area there. But, I mean, all said and done, I'm pretty happy with how it looks. Now, yes, there is some poke. It's not that excessive, guys. It's not like, holy crap, that's crazy poke. I think I can make that look good. Headlights, yep, I've started pulling these apart. I'm going to put them in there mainly because I've got the turn signals in there. But, I mean, she's a sandy Baja. Boom. So fellas, let me know what you think about this one, where to go with it. I'm that close, but I'm getting tired. It's like, you know, it's been pushing and pushing to try and get this thing done. You know, send us a like, give us a comment, let me know you're there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.